will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to winternomicsTV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to winternomicsTV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics.
What up, what up? How's everybody doing? It is hump day. It is a day to reflect. How's everybody doing? You guys having a good week so far? I see an incredibly light show count. What do I see? 71. Pretty fucking wild, huh? 71, 72, right? So definitely low. We started off over 100 a few times. This one's looking kind of ghost towny, huh? Glad y'all dig the filter. This is a direct avail special. $80. Still low, significantly lower than the last couple mornings. I'd actually expected that in previous shows. So, Hysteria. Why do we call it that? Because boy, did I see something crazy this morning. Oh, it's doing this fucking slow search function thing. There it goes. Check this out. Excluding hotels and the like, inflation in rent and home prices approaching double digits. And Jim Cramer is saying inflation has peaked, which leads us to worry that it hasn't. This is one branch of the mainstream media taking another person in the mainstream media and trying to make a contraindicator out of them and announcing it on the mainstream media. That's hysteria. Because they don't know what the fuck now, right? So Financial Times' best insights into what could possibly tell you inflation can get worse is betting against the other asshole who doesn't know what he's talking about in the other network. What the fuck are you paying these people for exactly? What the fuck? What is the use now of those two networks? Don't you have some economic bullshit to tell me? Is that about the dumbest thing you ever seen? Man. Light morning. I still see 82. Giving some time for the trigger. Think they got used to me starting at 8:30? Endeavoring to get you guys out of here closer to 9 o'clock, not 9:30, you know? Yeah, I know, right? What are they doing over here? Fucking just putting start tweets on charts and shit like that. Like, what up? What up? What's your economic bullshit reason for X, Y, and Z now, right? So where are we? Let's take a look at some things. Last show, tracking what's going on here, right? These are two scenarios that we have. Bull flag tracked all the way back on BTC, all the way back, pretty close to the breakout level we had at 20,003, but didn't make it. And then we had drawn this upward channel. And I said, if he got to 23, probably be some risk. So he's kind of held the trajectory of this. It's not a perfectly drawn trend line, but effectively this is what we are looking at. And now whether or not he has the ability to rotate up on it, he's up at 21.2 through it to take another shot at boats and coke. And if that's so, will that play over to ETH? Probably need the other ETH chart. So this bull flag trajectory is not as accurate, but this is the bull flag we're talking about. So now you have that with BTC. So we'll move that guy over there. So that's what we're pretty much watching right now as we come into the week. We'll get back and track some macro things on VIX and on dollar that I think is worth noting for us going forward. So let me get one other chart ready for this. VIX times. All right. You guys give me some more war stories. I think I didn't finish them all last time, did I? Or did I? Maybe I did. Actually, I think I did. Yeah, I did. Oh, I got 2 new ones. Good deal. Let's do those right now. Hey everyone, here are 2 plays I took last week. Who's this? This is Rixie Buzz. Long time no see, sir. I've been away from trading since the beginning of the year and have recently gotten back to being active in markets and most importantly, tuning into Winternomics YouTube's shows, which are dope, by the way. Props to the director Vale for the production. It's a joint effort. I decided to focus only on 2 tickers and I was able to make the following plays from Kaz's priceless analysis. I'm happy to be back and I'm looking forward to participating again. Thank you for the amazing content as always. What did you put down here? Oh, right on. 30x, 20x, you crack addicts. Very nice. Well, welcome back, sir. And who do we have next? This is War Story 5. The top comment thief. Okay, I don't know who that is. Oh, Wooders, what up? I hadn't taken a play in a while, particularly in crypto. I felt almost frozen and unable to act. 2 things that helped drag me out were cutting my watch list down to a couple tickers. So everybody is noting that they're having improvements with that. There's a lot of people saying that, so that's really good to see. And cutting my watch list down to a couple tickers and some macro charts. I went back through beginners, starter pack, and other content. A few days I was able to make the below plays. Let's see. Waves and BTC USD. So 1 loss there, 1 loss there, got them all back here, and then pure profit there. Good shit. Very good. So good to see you guys putting some logic into practice. Make sure you take a look at some of the other people's works that are posted publicly too. A lot of you remember these assets are correlated. So almost anything crypto USD is making the same move right now. So it's good to kind of look at what was the best of breed, and other entry logics that you see that are posted in war stories from other people too, and kind of compare notes and see where you're at and where you could have improved it. So, but good shit. Good to see some tracking forward, and then the fifth war story, keep posting. Jay Mills asking about SQM. I think you asked about that before. I think that guy's been on the move. We'll take a look at him today. Kathy Wood scoops up $50 million of Shopify on the dip, sells a chunk of Coinbase after SEC probe. I think Kathy Woods actually sold completely out of Coinbase, and her average price in that thing was like, I think 246 a share or something like that. But this kind of goes to show that lady's completely clueless, in what she's doing. She blew out of Twitter, I think, right before Elon fucking announced he was going to try to buy it, and she rode that thing all the way down. She's ridden Zoom all the way down. She doesn't, I don't know what the fuck her, it doesn't appear that she has a stop defined, line in the sand. It's just like the news event of the SEC. Okay, now we'll finally cut it. Right? You do realize that, right? This thing's been to the price she's cutting it at before. The only thing that changes is a news story. So Kathy doesn't really have a line in the sand before it gets there. She's literally holding tits out. And news story comes up that's finally too much to bear. Okay, now I'm out. That woman should be taken off Wall Street like in fucking handcuffs like yesterday. It's actually insane that she's still out there. I guess we'll take a look at shop. So let's see what else we got here. So something I wanted to look at today was our old friend the VIX. But we're going to look at the VIX, on a longer haul time frame, because as always, you need to be prepared for the worst case scenarios. So one thing that's pretty interesting, right? While markets have been kind of crazy and did pull back a little bit, the VIX didn't really have much upside to it. I was noting this and decided to take a look at the VIX longer term again and kind of take a macro look at this guy. So this is what we talked about the last time we had him on the show. And we said if we're going to pump again, right, we need this flag to not basically go flying out of this bull flag and becoming a rotation, but continuing as these sequences of bears have been, right, and stretching this flag down deeper. This is what will dictate if we get a pump. Today is Fed day. Wait a minute. Let me see. Forgot to pull that up over here. So yes, for today events, keep this on your radar. Today is an FOMC day. You guys know the Darth Maul moves you pay attention to after the event announcement goes off. You definitely want to pay attention to this fucking event. Nobody's really got a good bet on what they're going to do. Some of the tilt to the bets that they would do 100 basis points kind of eased, but you really don't know what they're going to fucking do here. So even this, the volatility is really low in the marketplace, and generally that would indicate that there's some visibility to what they're going to do, and they should do right here they're looking for a 0.75 rate hike. So with volatility staying low, if they were to go 100 basis points, that would be a shock to the market. But this is the expectation, and the VIX has pretty much been pretty tame going into it. So that's kind of an interesting thing. So this might get a little technical, but you want to pay attention to this. So we got Microsoft's earnings, we got Alphabet's earnings, and then we got a rotation this morning because you got a pump overnight, right, with that situation. Go down to 10 minutes or something like that, right? So this is like aftermarket. Yesterday Microsoft and Google are pumping now off of their earnings and stuff like that. I think Google pumping off his too? Yeah, both of them pumped off of it. So these two guys are moving NQs up right now, and that then translates into the VIX opening with this gap down and trying to begin the rotations of this bear flag. So you need to flag this and roll down. All right, so all said and good. Stevie D, the monolith killer, is sitting at the bottom of this thing. But let's back up and take a look at the VIX on a bigger res. So I'm not going to delete my drawings. I'm just going to take the VIX and I'm going to multiply him times 10. That way I can get rid of all my drawings on the VIX. All right, so let's take a vertical and let's look at some things. So we are July 27th, and this is what we're keeping track of, right? We've got what looks like, many of the fades in the VIX, which are bull flags that then turn into volatility pumps, right? So this is basically what it takes for the market to go through its emotional cycles, right? And we're here now in July. So there is a cyclicality to markets, right, or seasonality, and something you become aware of with stuff like like volatility, earning seasons, driving seasons with energy. There's different parts of the year that you care about. Big crashes tend to occur in September, October. There's a seasonality to markets that you want to pay attention to, and so this is one of the things that I do pay attention to. So this is 2022. I'm going to go back a few cycles and kind of show you something, right? So let's find July. This same timing, and generally you're basically just looking right around this timing, right? This is June coming into July, and you get a blow-off spike. We haven't had any blow-off spikes. We're just going to kind of be around about where July is. This is August before you get like a September typical sell-off. This is July. End of July. This should probably start to become pretty obvious pretty soon. There's definitely a seasonality to like the middle of the year and having like very low volatility. Regardless of the fact that you have Apple and the Fed and Google, like the volatility stayed muted. Even though the market did sell down a little bit, the volatility is not doing what you'd expect. The amount of different people that are leading to that give us event risk. I'm going to get back over to the housing crisis just to make this point. So this year you don't really see it so much. Not really in this year. This is after the apocalypse of the banking crisis, and then so before the banking crisis, the top of the market's actually July of 2007. And then the market goes off a cliff after basically, here. Those are all your July, August periods. So the only one of them that doesn't pump like crazy is this one on the way down from the crash. And this one also coming out of the bottom of the market. You pretty much get a pump somewhere after in every other year. Pretty consistent for a decade. That is low volatility in the summer. So there's a seasonality there. That's our risk, right? So what are we watching? So if you guys see that, right, that's our main risk. That there's a trough in volatility and a seasonal one at that. And then if we head into the third quarter with bad visibility, with inflation concerns, with the Fed still de-risking markets, that you have some catalyst for a rotation and a seasonally strong VIX, if not in the next week or two by September. So put that off to the side, keep that in the back of your minds. Near term, right, we can still be pumping higher if this VIX is rotating right now near term before we get the rotation of the bull flag of the VIX. So we're going to keep tracking the bull flag of the VIX, because if he rotates, that is the timing that is worrisome with a bull flag in the middle of the summer. All right, so we have that context. I know that's way too detailed, right? All right, so that being said, let us go ahead and look at what we're doing right now. So where is my pre-market? Which one of these do I want to use? The gap chart. We'll use the gap chart. This one's got less stuff on it. All right, so this was our projection at the first gap that we had on the way down, this is in the announcement in the market update channel Discord. We did this on the show where we showed these gaps that look like the gaps of COVID. So these are high volume gaps that, because they're so high volume, price is going to stick to and interact with them really, really well. Like here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking interactions, 6. It's like really crazy. You slam into this one, you should get like some kind of counter structure. You got like a flag break, and then basically, he's stop ran this flag here, and you've got the bull flag we're looking for. Looks like it's more now structured out to be this guy. We don't want to make it. I guess blue is good enough. So we'll get this out of our way so we can just see. We'll just put that back there. So this is what we're dealing with. I think, just like in all the other gaps, your trigger level is the gap itself. So like this level we put across here, you just try and let him structure something out to just like he did over here to let him get free and clear. Oops. Play him north of the gap, and I think even when you get the counter structures right, you can play him north of the gap. Same thing will be true here. You want to play him if he does something like leaving like that. So if the VIX continues to fade, this is the bull flag rotation we give a shit about. That's likely part of what the VIX is doing, right? The VIX fade from the 22nd right there. That if he's rotating down, then we know pretty narrowly what we're watching. If the VIX is going to do that big ass rotation that I showed you and go somewhere into like August, September, then this entire thing becomes the bear flag of that, right? So like we said, right, bear flags are made of bull flags. That's our two scenarios. Macro resolution bear flag rotation down on the fucking indexes with a rotation in the VIX, or a low resolution uptrend right now that most people are fucking blind is even happening. So it's a really key inflection point with like, this low volatility coming into this week and having like so many catalysts that can tell you some really crazy shit going forward, because, any one of these people can say something nuts, whether it be Apple, the Fed, or, I think who comes at the end of the week, Amazon. So there's still a lot of big names left to drop, a lot of catalysts. That being said, like what happened with Netflix, most of these guys' expectations have been written off a cliff because of the fucking economic situation, enduring long enough for people to now have much lowered expectations. Now it's at least easier for these companies to beat those expectations. Okay. So that's kind of our scenarios, right? So that being said, let's take a look at the DXY. And we don't need him on 10 minute. Let's look at him again. That's not the chart for the DXY. So you keep track of this guy right here. This is, if this bulls out and the DXY rotates, it would probably be reflected in the VIX also. So you're watching this guy's bull flag also as a sign of danger if he gets strength again, and he is very much in a place he can. You just don't know how far back this bull flag is going to track and develop. Let me get this thing the fuck out of there.
I don't think you're sharing.
Oh, whoops, my bad. DXY. So watching that zone, DXY can track all the way back to this trigger, but we're going to watch him in tandem with VIX. And if VIX and him rotate and turn upwards out of these angles, right, that's your combined danger sign. If both those guys turn really strong, big danger. And again, the VIX, I said you watch that level. I think that's a good level. That purple one, fuchsia one, 2489, that's a good spot to watch. So that's DXY, VIX. And then again, if that macro VIX rotation were to happen to the bull side, you would be watching BTC and ETH right in these bear channels. That's the same bear channel I just put around the S&P 500. So this is what we're playing. We're playing basically this contra structure in low resolutions with the VIX right now waving down. He rotates, this big motherfucker comes into play, we play a different rotation. But this puts a pretty clear line in the sand of what we're watching, and everything's so synced that they all look alike. So I think that's a good and a bad thing. So right now, sentiments kind of tell you that no one's in this thing. A lot of people are looking for shit to go down, and fucking Jim Cramer becoming a fucking contraindicator for a different set of fucking clowns. Everyone's looking for the worst case, you know, and when Jim becomes the focal point of everybody's fucking, you know, jokes, it's a good damn chance Jim's now the scarcity and those idiots are the crowded trade. So, you know, this thing could go higher and Jim might look like a genius here in a fucking second. So pay attention to the structure we have, you know, within the bear channel. Oops. If this guy rotates out of here and sustains a breakout of 20,326, you know, don't fucking bet against it. ETH BTC, if you pay attention to this guy, you know, he's consolidating up here. There's a lot of stuff in terms of BTC that looks kind of interesting. Generally speaking, shitcoins, you know, second tier altcoins aren't generally going to be strong on Bitcoin unless there's some amount of risk-seeking behavior above the norm in the marketplace, right? You will only see fucking BTC dominance when capital is leaving the system because everyone's going to be leaving through BTC. So the fact that you see any kind of altcoin showing strength against it, you know, there's been a few, you know, outside of this, you know, Atom and whatnot, and I think Matic. Let me pull up some other ones. You know, Matic, that's not the Matic chart, wrong chart. Matic, this one we've drawn up before, right? Some of these guys look fucking crazy. And there's that's Matic USD, Matic BTC. All right, you're generally not going to see shitcoin strength BTC unless there's risk-seeking behavior a little above the average and what people really thinks inside the marketplace. And that's what these guys look like. If they continue to be bullish on BTC, you know, BNB, BTC. That guy looks really fucking good. Let me see. That's where that happened. BNB, BTC. Yeah, this chart right here. So, you know, this is bullish, you know, in shitcoins on BTC. So right now, the way the sentiments are, people looking for Jim Cramer, it looks like there's risk assumption. There's money going into the market that people don't fucking see. So can things go higher? I think they can. You have a lot of crazy catalysts. Can the Fed fucking cause a vicious spike and make it really hard to play? Probably. But if it's going to go higher and we do clear out, you know, and we do see stuff like, you know, Bitcoin rotate and SPYs rotate, you'll be able to participate after the volatility settles down. If it's going to go, it's going to go a lot further. All right, so that was shitcoins, dollars, VIX, DXY. Oh yeah. Last thing we'll look at, always USD. Let's check this guy out. So we're gonna keep track of both his ass and the fucking USDC since this thing looks fucking crazy every time I pull it up. So, you know, our big risks, not this chart. If the VIX does his big rotation, this is it for crypto. Crypto's de-risking will be tied to this thing. So we're obviously paying attention to that as well. So you have a lot of things that are lined up here to keep track of. This fade right now in USD.T is your bounce you see in crypto since yesterday. And if he fades all the way back here and makes this bear flag, you know, it gets more and more bullish. So everything kind of is lined up, right? VIX, dollar, USDT.D. Let's just check USDC.D just to be sure. Yeah, they all look alike. And so that guy's actually coming off a swing level we defined here. And that's also probably the key to pay attention to if this all rotates back up and continues higher. So you guys have a complete market read now. You know what I know. You guys get all that? Did it all make sense? Pars Vital is a fucking beast. I hope you've got a fucking couple mansions by now, Pars. We appreciate you, man. Energy death to a nation level, crazy. Yeah. Zapped, I did just look at Matic, so you got that one knocked out. We're at 8:46. I think I've done good on catching up on time. I don't want to take you guys to 9:30 anymore. I want to get you guys out of here at 9 o'clock. And if it's possible, I find things that are worth putting up into OnlyFans. I can get them there before the market opens. So that'll help us be a little bit more efficient on the morning show. We're going to endeavor to be on at 8 o'clock. So artwork and everything's got to be done in time to get us off the ground. All right. Disney, Nucor, Kate C. All right. Let's see. Disney. Who the fuck wants Disney on this show? Are you a grandparent? I'm pretty sure I have a Disney chart somewhere. Disney. Oh, sweet. Let's see. Where are we at in Disney? Okay. So whenever we last, this is probably when we were looking at AMD and all those guys. We had this big ass range. Disney's is March. This is 2015 range. All the way through. He slammed through it in COVID, and he's kind of double bottoming. I could probably pull this range down a little bit better. Let's see. Probably go with the first low. Yeah, the very first low. That's what he bottomed with. So, that kind of like reminiscent. Like I showed you this on AMD. AMD is kind of not that one. AMD, kind of like that, right? You land inside a big zone like this. It's a really great like first interaction trade. Generally, you won't see price unless a company has declared bankruptcy. You won't generally see price pass through a zone of this much sideways action, like years worth of volume. It's one of the more high probability trade. If you're going to play this, there's some amount of rules to play a knife on this. But when you slam into the bottom of a range like this on the first fucking interaction, this is probably one of your most high probability, fucking high risk, not high probability, high fear contacts. This is where no one believes it. The next time people have seen this happen, it's not as good a shot. But the first time you come down here, so I told you had a lot of confluence and the market was terrified. This is a very, very high probability bounce spot when you see this happen. So Disney's got like a version of that. And he's landing in right now. Now, it's not to say you can't bounce and just flag and come back down and go right through it. But if he gets underneath this, yeah, that would be bad. Like in this case, we talked about the 2B last show, remember? That would be a 2 fucking B, right? Stop Friend Central. I think I have that thing up still somewhere. I don't know where it is. I thought I had that 2B thing up. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. The other one's probably a little better to look at than this one. So that's what you're looking at over there. All right. So retest now back into the area that got 2B. That's serious confluence. If the market does gain strength, this would be interesting to pay attention to from this level. And this was like one of many assets that hit like major levels all at once on this bottom. So yeah, that's worth paying attention to. It can take time to structure out. Like it's in a heavy chop zone. It can be really choppy on its way up. So Disney hasn't really been the best of breed on the upside much. He's just hit a major level himself. But there's probably assets that are correlated with him that are stronger than what he's doing. But if you're gonna watch this guy, then you pay attention to him inside here. See if he can stay out of this whole range he just set on the floor. Probably shouldn't have made him the same fucking color. Yeah, good enough. So you would want to see him kind of pull off like, a rotation like that. And keep in mind he's got earnings right here, August 11th. So this depends if the market doesn't have that VIX rotation and we do get more bull. That would probably be, there's a lot of stuff that got fucking, pushed into the dust. This is a good point. If there's going to be a risk-on move from the summer, this is probably worth paying attention to. Disney, what was the other one you said? Nucor, KCM. Nucor. Which chart did I do for this fucking thing? I did 2 different charts? Jesus Christ. Alright, I think this is the one. So we had him blow out this trigger level and then come back through it. He didn't sustain on top of it. When he got here, we put a forecast for him to stay on top of it and then trend higher. He went right through it, and he's made just effectively another bull flag, right? Ah, you son of a bitch. God, that's terrible. I don't know how that even happened. Alright, fuck it. And you still keep this trigger in mind. He needs to stabilize outside of this, so, but definitely worth watching what's going on with him. If you're watching him, you probably watch X also. This has been pretty messy. You can see a 2B cross that low. Pretty good interaction under it and then pop back over it. So they both will likely track higher if Nucor continues to rotate. Both would probably be pretty interesting to watch. K8C. Kraft Heinz Company. Oh, we did this guy already. Okay, cool. Don't know when the last time we did it was. I can't remember doing this guy, but okay, that's it. So if you structure another bull flag along this, you know, you're looking to see how he interacts with that. I wonder when I did this. If anyone's got notes on it. I don't know how long ago we did this. But if I projected this here, he should have probably been in this bull flag before he came out of it. So, let's see, SQM, WM. Macy's, I think I talked about this before. Yeah, there's Macy's. And I thought some of these guys look crazy, right? Going into summer, going to the bottom. Macy's hasn't really managed to catch their strength. We looked at this as a possible level for a bottom of a bull flag. Hasn't stabilized. I still say you pay attention to the whole range of volume that's here. This is an area, just like that area showed in AMD and Disney. It's a good amount of sideways action, enough so that they can find a floor in here. Didn't rotate from here. Got a projected, like, you know, potential floor here. Can it go lower? Yeah. As long as it holds over basically the floor of this thing and rotates, it's still, you know, a bull flag with a higher floor. So I think you're still watching this for potentially the exact same thing to play out. I'll move this guy over. But that's what you're waiting to play. Well, actually, when he gets to that level, you would pay attention to the same thing also. Yeah, there you go. Dude, Macy's is fucking never going away. Macy's is you know, a centerpiece of New York City. That thing's not going away. They're the king retailer. They own fucking Christmas. They're branded for the holidays. Izzy says this filter takes him back to the psychedelic days. You mean last week? SQM and WM. SQM. Alright, what do we got here? That's not his only chart, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so with SQM, we've drawn this guy up way back in the days. He was something we put into OnlyFans for you guys that we thought was part of the food disaster basket. So that basket took a chill and definitely got off people's radars. It's been pulling back since the end of May, but you know, has appeared to be doing some action like this. So you want to see if you can, you know, do something like that. If these guys are indeed rotating. So there's some other guys in this that you'd want to watch. Guys like Bungie were in this, and you know they do have higher floors. Not over here. BG. Alright, this corrective structure in Bungie was just deeper than we gave it credit for, but these guys all kind of corrected together. You know, SQM was one of those guys. They all kind of corrected together. So you're paying attention to this. Like I think, you know, the food guys, you pay attention to going into harvest time when that will become more front and center in the news that we have a problem with the food supply again. You know, not that we don't right now, but it's just not fucking front and center like it will be when it comes down to, like, you know, getting into the colder seasons. All right. Waste management's our last stock. Waste management. Gotta love garbage. Alright, do it over here, waste management. So last time we were projected this, we had a bull flag, we looked for a rotation, it didn't rotate, it got bigger. So this is the same flag, just bigger. And you're looking for the exact same thing anyway. Euro AUD, someone just asked for. Let me make sure I didn't do it on this chart. Euro AUD. Boo, I did it on both charts. Why did I do that? So this is from whenever the hell ago we ever did this. That's I think that's the older chart. So let me see. No, okay. I don't know why this is just left like that. All right, this must be the main one we're using. All right, so back in the day we had this projection, and he's apparently kept going. So if you fill in some more of what he's done, right, he's done another flag right here, and he's rotated that down. So probably want to pay attention to that. Euro's kind of getting so you know, Euro Aussie, Euro everything kind of looks the same. Euro's a basket asset is getting fucking floored. He's rotating down. You can see the same bear flags kind of in many Euro assets. Euro, CHF, I think just hit a record low. This is an OG sheet. But yeah, we had a projection here last time we talked about a trigger level if you stayed below this thing. So Euro everything's just getting pancaked. So that's kind of what you're seeing. So this is the strong. So where you see Euro Aussie just beginning to rotate, Euro Franc is leading that. So Euro Franc is actually stronger than Aussies right now. Let's see, Euro USD, obviously, you know what that guy looks like. So Euro everything is getting fucking destroyed, and obviously for obvious reasons. Where is it? CRV USDT. 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm gonna get fucking done pretty damn close to 9 o'clock. Cool. CRVT USD. That's not right. CRV USDT. Okay, cool. We've done tons of stuff with this thing. What the fuck is this? So I remember last time we talked about this, I drew this out. Okay, yeah, this guy had an expanding formation, which I told you is fucking deadly. You had one here, one here, one here. So expanding formations is basically series of 2Bs, right? Stop run here, kill everybody, stop run here, kill everybody, stop run over this, kill everybody, stop run here, bear flag, and finally collapse through one side of this thing. So like I did, I gave you a range right here in yellow, and he's finally sustained under one of the sides, right? He didn't sustain here. He had to have a flag that sustained under here. This was the one that finally did. And then he rotated off. So now that guy looks like this, he's under this level. Probably looking like he wick load here. He looks like shit, and if he continues the trend he's got, this is possibly another bear flag that's just testing through the level and can rotate back down under it and, you know, eat it. So I think that's probably a more likely path. That this guy looks like shit and fully failed his uptrend. CRVT, CRV, I don't keep saying that, dot and LTCBTC, dot what? Dot USDT, dot USDT. Dot looks like it's dead. Dot USDT. I feel like I had this guy somewhere else. There, okay. So the last time we ever talked about this guy, it's been a long time since you guys asked this dude. So test, looked for a bull flag rotation that never occurred. He just went through the trigger of the bottom of this box range that we established from over here. And he stayed underneath that and just ate it since we last pulled him up. So now he's down in the dust. And this is usually one of the ones they tell you looks like dog shit, stay away from it. I know there's some dot lovers out there, but this thing looks fucking roasted. That's what he's sitting on. His last hope is that he rotates off of this base, this initial base where the pump came from. But it looks pretty terrible. I would tell you that if you're looking in crypto, there's a lot of things that don't look this terrible, right? Somebody just asked for Matic USD, and we talked about him just a moment ago, right? This is clearly a much stronger asset than that. There are guys like this who look a lot better. Huh. Why do I have this chart of Matic? Don't I have another chart of Matic? I could swear I just did something here. Where is this? I thought I just drew a bull flag on this thing. I must be crazy. Yeah, somebody asked this thing, I guess. So I still think this is a possible path. You can crank out. How big this bull flag is going to be? It could be just this big. It could actually go all the way back. So you track the angle. Make sure he fully rotates this. If he actually sustains this trigger and rotates, that's a pretty strong bull flag. This is kind of your worst case. He goes and stop runs the shit out of everybody. If the market goes down and retests again, if this were to happen and reemerge, this would be extremely bullish if that happened. So, but yeah, Matic looks pretty good. Matic, LTC, BTC, LTC. Where is my chart for that guy? Oh, there we go. So this was a setup we did for him that he possibly could rotate. He never has. He faded through it and never really established a rotation up, and just continued to fade. So this just never came into being, and actually broke through his lows of March 2017. So unless barring and this becomes a 2B and he rotates back up through this low, you know, it doesn't look good for LTC relative strength wise on BTC at the moment. So that's it. I think your line in the sand for if you want to see a long position on this guy is going back through this level. He doesn't get back through that, you know, there's nothing you care about with it. But that's what you'd be playing for, and then again through this trigger if that ever happened. But yeah. All right, I got all your shit in there. 9:05. That is money. I love this filter too. So you guys got what you needed. There's a lot of things to keep track of. I did go into some greater detail about the VIX. I think, you know, you never want to go to sleep on that thing. And when the media starts to use each other as fucking contraindicators, they have no fucking value to add. But if they are fucking who's guiding the populace out there that we trade against the perceptions of, then the populace is just as confused as the media. So, you know, that at least tells you that most people probably still aren't in this thing, right? You have one side of the media confusing the other side of the media. The population is watching both these idiots. Nobody knows what's going on. Coming off lows, there's not a lot of people we can tell that, you know, picked up anything off lows. But we still do see a lot of people out there still have their PFPs. Can markets go lower in dollar terms? Absolutely. Can they stretch a little bit more before people fucking come to the conclusion they missed the boat? You know, that I think that's still possible. The VIX is the ultimate guide of what comes next. So, you know, we watch the low resolution bear flags continue to unwind downwards. We play the low resolution up move that we see in front of our faces. But we always keep, you know, in hindsight, not in hindsight, in the back of our minds that there is a much larger bull structure on the VIX in a seasonally fucking, you know, precarious position of the year. That if it does unfold, we have bear structures that are correlated across fucking crypto and stocks and, you know, and reflected in the dollar indexes that we can't like leave out, and we want to be flexible enough to play it if it happens. These are the kind of moves, if there is another fucking VIX spike, anything like the ones I've shown you, that seasonal chart, it's the kind of shit that will erase like fucking like everyone who's not paying attention to this show when it comes around, that rushes to figure out what's fucking happening when that thing's spiking, they'll be dead already. So stay on your toes, you know. Summer doldrums of volatility usually lead to fucking crazy shit in the September, October months if there's going to be that kind of seasonal sell-off. If there's not, you know, we keep playing high and tight as this thing extends, and we watch BTC if he rotates and gets out of that bull flag, and we let some of these events pass throughout the week in FOMC, and then, you know, there should be enough volatility events out of the way for us to have a little bit of a smooth sailing. Anyways, motherfuckers, hope you guys got all that. It's a lot. Do a review. Check it all out. Stay safe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winternomics. Welcome.